Hello everybody, welcome back. It's Sport Federation TV. Every week we're talking about sport in the Western Cape. Well, it looks like winter is starting to move along now and we're heading towards summer, and our federations are of course very active out there. Tonight we'll be catching up with Jill Fortuin from Western Cape Lifesaving, and we'll be having in studio Rebecca Sinclair from Western Cape Chess and to talk to us more a little bit about chess in the province. And for those of you that missed some of our previous interviews, we'll do a few replays for you. But in the studio with me now, Jill Fortuin, Western Cape Lifesaving. Jill, welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me, and welcome to your audience.
So, Jill, last time that we had you in the studio, we were talking about Stillwater. You guys were going to the Nationals. We spoke to you about Open, the surf side of things, also the Nationals. What have you guys been busy with in the last since we spoke to you?
Yeah, so we've been doing amazing stuff. We completed the interprovincials as well as the surf competition, and Lifesaving Western Cape won the overall competition once again. So we've done amazingly well. And then also Lifesaving Western Cape won the junior side of the surf competition. And at that interprovincial tournament in May of this year, the national team was selected to go and represent South Africa at the various competitions, of which there are 9 Western Cape athletes and 2 management teams, myself and James Thompson from Clifton, to represent. So 11 of the 26-person team are all from the Western Cape.
So you got 11 players from Western Cape in the South African team. That team is, of course, going overseas to go compete. So 11 pro-tier athletes. Congratulations. The guys must be thrilled.
Yes, I think they're absolutely amazing athletes, and they deserve it.
Yeah.
You know, and they represent all different clubs and disciplines within lifesaving. And to be able to say the Western Cape is coming full force into that team just shows the amount of talent we have in the Western Cape and how we are growing the sport in the Western Cape.
So this world tournament, it's a world champs, right?
It's an international surf rescue challenge.
Right.
And it's like a tri-nations basically, with Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and a couple of other countries. But there's also a specific part of the competition which is a tri-nations between South Africa, Australia and New Zealand. Right.
So in the movement then from the interprovincials, where athletes then get selected, they obviously go back to their own clubs. Do they then train in a team, or do they have? How do they get ready from the interprovincials? How do they get ready when they go back, and sort of do they need to train ever as a team or get together?
Yeah, so they do a bit of both, and so it's a hybrid, and there's a lot of logistics and thought that goes into it. James Thompson, who is our coach, he basically coordinates that for the seniors, and somebody from outside of the Western Cape, Paul Lynch, he's the junior coach. They coordinate all the coaching, so that the athletes are asked for their training logs, so they train with their coaches and their clubs on a weekly basis. And we have 2 training camps. One is coming up this weekend in St. Francis. So if anybody's going on holiday to St. Francis,
they need a lift.
They need a lift, or come and check them out in St. Francis.
Come and check them out. Yeah.
And about a couple of weeks ago in July, they had the Colours Award, so we received our Protea colours.
Yes.
And we also had a training camp over 3 days there. And so the team gets together to do team building, to get the ethos, the team spirit right, but also to do sort of like get an idea of what team combinations are going to be put together.
Is that important? Is that for lifesaving? Do you need to think about combinations?
Yes. So we have to think about, you know, how we put the teams together. So if, for example, in the surf rescue tube, you've got 2 swimmers. The 2 swimmers are equally good, but you've got a smaller swimmer and a bigger swimmer.
Yeah.
So the bigger swimmer, or the stronger swimmer, is going to put on the fins. And sometimes the stronger swimmer is not necessarily the bigger in size or height or whatever. It could be that there's a stronger kicker with the fins, and that can make or break how you put the team together. So there's a lot of thought that goes into those combinations. The same with the board. They have a board rescue event, and it's, as it says in its name, it's the International Surf Rescue Challenge. So it's really to measure how good are our lifesavers in terms of their rescuability internationally.
We're going to talk a little bit about the life-saving aspect, actual what you guys do on a daily basis to make sure the public are safe out there. But just from a national team point of view now, do you guys also, because we're talking a lot about the athletes, but what about behind the scenes, the managers and the coaches? There's a tremendous amount of work that has to go into this.
Yeah, indeed there is. So we do everything as a management team to work on things like kit orders, to make sure that everybody is dressed correctly, they've got the correct clothing, to arranging entry fees, doing entries, arranging equipment there, and then also doing a bit of fundraising.
Yeah.
So you know, like our Back a Buddy accounts and those things, we're putting it out there to drive funds in, because this is a self-funded tour.
Yeah.
And each athlete or their parent has to come up with something like 81,000 Rand per athlete.
Wow.
That is what it costs. And that's a lot of money in the tough economic climate that we are. So, and we are, as I said, self-funded, so we don't get any money per se. So there's a lot of work goes into that. And when you budget constrained, you're always, you know, shopping around for the best deal when it comes to accommodation, when it comes to training camps, everything that goes into it. It's quite a challenge, but it's really enjoyable when you start seeing the pieces of the puzzle come together. And as a management team, we also pay for ourselves. We don't get sponsored, so we also working hard behind the scenes to also raise our own funds to make sure that we can make it a memorable experience for the competitors, but also that we can showcase the talents of South Africa, and in particular in our case, the Western Cape, that we're trying to showcase, because we represent not only South Africa, but we're also representing the Western Cape in this team.
So the Back a Buddy campaign, and for the folks that don't know, folks, the Back a Buddy is, of course, an option for fundraisers to go to, open for the public, and where you can look at various causes to help whichever cause it is that you're choosing. So your Western Cape Life-Saving guys, you've got a Back a Buddy campaign running at the moment?
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
And we've also appealed on various social media platforms, etc., for funds.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to fund us, they're welcome to do it. And there's a possibility, like on our, we call it our high visibility vests, when the people compete, that you'll be able to see the funders' names if there's a large donor, so they can donate something towards a particular clothing item, or, you know, or someone that wants to donate something as little as 50 Rand.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps to get our athletes there. And we've got 3 weeks to go, so we're driving this message home quite hard.
In the meantime, other than preparing for the World Champs, summer is coming up. The beaches are going to be getting more and more full. One of these days, the rain is going to start going away. Well, I mean, we're all very grateful for the rain, but it'll be nice if the rain gives us a bit of a break. Are your guys back on duty? I mean, are the clubs also prepared, getting ready to look after the beaches and of course the still water as well? Definitely.
So the clubs, I think, they take about a month and a bit break. And so from the 1st of August, you would have seen, even before that, clubs have already been in swimming pools, on the beaches, training. And some of the clubs have what they call winter warrior programs, and then you have other clubs that's running their surf ski programs. So people are out there, they're training hard, they're getting ready. They're not just getting ready for competitions. That's not the primary aim. The primary focus is to keep the beaches safe. And so the whole point is that if these beaches are safe and the lifeguards are fit to do that, then it reduces the number of drownings that we can expect.
Jill, we'll leave it at that. We'll say to you guys, good luck for the champs, and of course we're looking forward to finding out more. Get you in studio, help you with the fundraising, and we'll catch up with you guys again soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
There we go, folks. Jill Fortuin, Western Cape Life-Saving. Go and look out for the Back a Buddy campaign, www.backabuddy.co.za, and look out for Western Cape's fundraising campaign. Get behind our lifesavers. Not only going to compete for us internationally, but they're also making sure that we stay safe on the dams, the rivers, the swimming pools, and the beaches. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.